Hey,
Yes.
welcome to Calm Nation.
Yeah. Welcome to the Combination Trivia.
Kal-El, you do not remember me. I am Jor-El. I'm your father.
Oh, other guy.
Even though you've been raised as a human being, you are not one of them. You have great powers, only some of which you have discovered.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Man gets older and he thinks very differently, and things get very clear. And there's one thing I do know, son, and that is you are here for a reason.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me? Who's got you?
We're sitting on top of the story of the century here.
Who are you?
A friend.
You are revealed to the world, but you still must keep your secret identity.
Why?
Your enemies will discover the only way to hurt you by hurting the people you care for.
I don't know who you are. Just a friend from another star.
Is that how a warped brain like yours gets its kicks? By planning the death of innocent people?
No, by causing the death of innocent people.
Mind over muscle?
They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way. For this reason, above all, I have sent them you, my only son.
Superman!
Otisburg? Oh, sorry.
Yep. So welcome to
Welcome,
Calm Nation
everyone.
Trivia.
Yeah. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back.
Exactly. If you're brand new, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Yes. Thanks for joining us.
As always, we're up for comments, complaints, and compliments.
Sure. What you're reading, what you like, what you love.
Exactly. You know,
All those
what
things.
do you think might be fun for us to watch?
Yeah.
So our goal here at Calm Nation is to educate, illuminate, and entertain. Sure, it helps to know everything about everything, like Todd.
Yeah, but you can't all be me. So,
Nope.
nope. But you can try.
You can try. You can try. But hey, come on by. We do this every Tuesday, more or less. Our questions
less.
are always multiple choice. In a minute, we'll give you the details. But while you're here and while we're thinking of it, like, subscribe,
Facebook, Instagram. Click on the subscribe YouTube.
Go to our webpage, which, yes, I know I need to update. Join our mailing list. Give us your firstborn children. You know, all the normal stuff that people ask for.
Sure.
So.
We don't really need the firstborns. We got our own. They're quite lovely.
Yeah. And yeah. So tonight we're talking about Superman.
Yes. Although.
So Pride Month kicks off tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So in honor of Pride Month, we're talking about Superman because, you know, he's gay now.
Well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not really.
Right.
So Superman, champion of the oppressed, Man of Steel, the Man of Tomorrow, the last son of Krypton, the big blue Boy Scout. After 83 years. 83 years
and counting. Still looking good.
He didn't come out.
No.
Exactly.
No. That's Superman.
That's Superman. He's still
Clark Kent.
He's still Clark Kent. He's still loving on Lois Lane, not Lewis Lane. He's still that guy.
Yeah.
But Clark and Lois had a baby.
Yeah. That's why this is the son of Kal-El.
Exactly. And for a minute and a half, he was Superboy, but now he's kind of Superman because, Dad's on a work trip and asked him to fill in.
Yeah. Shoulder the cape, so to speak.
And that Superman, Jonathan, he likes boys.
Right.
So, now, the precise backstory of, how Superman's son, what happened, etc., that's retconned a lot. The current Superman, who I kind of want to call Superboy just so, people aren't confused.
Call him Kal-El, because he's not.
Well, he's not Kal-El.
Oh, no, he's not Kal-El. He's John.
John. People call him John.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Clark, you might remember a couple of years ago, Clark and Lois got married. They had the baby.
Then things happened. Then the New 52 happened. Exactly. Then the Rebirth happened. Then the DC Now. Oh, no, it's the Marvel Now. Then the whatever reboot happened. But this is the current line.
But yeah, and this is, by the way, we pick stuff we like, and we like this book. It's a good yarn, and I really like how they delve into John. I'm going to call him John. His mindset and his personality, and this feels like Superman to me, or this feels like very authentic as to what Superman would be thinking and feeling.
It's a new spin on the concept of feeling like you're the last son of a different race. Figuring out who you really are.
Or the only one of you there is on Earth.
Yes.
John is a kid who spent his life in his father's shadow. I mean, his father is Superman. That's one heck of a lot of shadow. John is well-meaning, but he's a little restless, and he's not, Superman is the guy who will come and put out a fire, but John is sort of looking to figure out why the fire got set in the first place and maybe do something about that as well. So it's a modern Superman, and yeah. Now, to play trivia, go to crowd.live/SLVBX or scan the QR code. You can also go to crowdper.com and put in the event code SLVBX. If you're watching this live, that is. If you're watching us on video, you missed your chance. Like, subscribe, join our mailing list, etc., and be here next week.
But you can still play along and try and guess the answers.
Exactly. That is so much fun. I'm going to, the questions have been moved to the web, the rules, etc., have been moved to the website. But the one thing I'm going to say is that bears repeating is the answers to the questions. It's multiple choice, and the answers to the question are based on this book, Superman, Son of Kal-El. So if it was true in Superman Elseworlds, it may not be true here.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
So let's get started.
Are we starting the Superman? We're starting the countdown, y'all. You ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Where was the first appearance of Superman? The when was 1938.
A galaxy far, far away. On Krypton. Oh.
Now, it wasn't Brave and Bold because that's Marvel.
No. That's Batman.
Yeah. It was Action Comics.
Right.
And if memory serves, it was Action Comics #1, right?
It was. The very first issue of Action Comics. Yep. Way back when. 80 odd years ago. Yeah.
By the way, Lois Lane was right there with him from the beginning.
Yes, she was.
Jimmy Olsen didn't show up for a couple more.
Yeah, he showed up as an unnamed cub reporter first, and then eventually got his name, I think, like a year and a half later.
Yeah, I think originally he was blonde, but yeah, 1938, y'all. 1938.
Yeah.
And let's see, a Comic Cavalcade.
Comic Cavalcade was the first debut of The Flash Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. And DC Comics Presents, which came along much, much later, actually in 1978, was a team-up book starring Superman and whoever they decided to team him up with that month. Still a lot of fun, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But these were all books where they started something new to see if it would fly before it went on to be its own title, which, Superman, I think it's going to be successful. What do you say? What do you say?
Yeah, they might have had a hit on their hands.
You think?
Maybe.
Okay. Now, next, let's talk about Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
What state is Smallville in? And hint, it's not Florida, although I would love to see the title, Florida Man Thinks He Can Fly. Florida Man thinks he's bulletproof.
There's usually been headlines like that down here.
Florida Man. Honestly, if he wanted to blend in a little bit better, Superman probably could go down in Florida.
Yeah. There's some strange ones down here.
So anyway, but he is from Kansas. Pretty much
right.
Everybody knows that Superman's from Kansas, or it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Iowa was one of the other answers, and Iowa, we picked that one because that's where James Kirkwood is from. He only works in outer space.
That's right. Indeed.
But Kansas.
As Superman said, oftentimes it's like, gee, General, I grew up in Kansas. How American can you get?
Aw.
But, and Colorado just because we love it.
Superheroes come from Colorado. So I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
What is Lois Lane's middle name?
Speaking of Lois.
And the answer is Joanne. So, and Todd, tell the people why Joanne is her middle name.
Because back in the day when two young creators, Siegel and Schuster, were coming up with Superman, they hired a young artist named Joanne Carter to model for them, to give them inspiration on how to draw that intrepid reporter.
Exactly.
And then Mr. Siegel married her. And she came along years later and helped them actually get their character copyright ownership back, so that Siegel and Schuster actually got their due for creating one of the greatest superheroes in the world. So
yeah, if you remember the fact years ago that Superman, there was a big court battle and battle in public opinion about who owned the rights to Superman, and at least giving Siegel and Schuster credit as well as, a little bit of control. Joanne was instrumental in making sure that happened. So yeah, since she was the original model for Lois Lane, somewhere along the line, Lois got given her middle name.
Right.
It's only
fitting.
Yep. Now, we mentioned that Clark and Lois got married, that Superman and Lois got married. When did they get married? So they started dating like 1938.
Well, they didn't really date back then. That was that whole cat and mouse thing. Probably started dating in the 40s, maybe.
So,
after
50 years of dating,
they got whirlwind courtship.
Whirlwind courtship, it is not. Now, it was 1996. It was a very big deal. John Byrne did. I'm not sure if he did the cover, but that's always the cover I remember them with.
That There was multiple covers, including the very nice embossed white invitation cover,
Exactly.
which I still have some around here in a box, and
I'm sure you do. Yeah, and I remember that, like Superman was super worried about going on his vacation, on his honeymoon, and like the big spread that like every superhero you could think of.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because you actually had the one where you had all these people in the church that nobody had any idea who they really were, unless you were a fan, because you just knew. And then there was the reception later for, meanwhile at the Hall of Justice, celebrating the nuptials.
What does how do you cater an event at the Hall of Justice?
Lots of security and I'm thinking really strong plastic plates because they don't break when they get thrown around.
Milk.
Milk.
This is Superman after all. Milk and cookies.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just a thought. Anyway, now that's all Superman in general, but this book in particular, at the beginning of Superman, Son of Kal-El, there is a what? So, as people keep saying, and it's a lot of fun, it's not a planetary invasion, it's an attempted
invasion.
Planetary invasion.
Yes.
And as one of the folks fighting off the attempted planetary invasion says, it's not even that good. Not even that good. By the
We've
way,
seen better.
We've seen. They
that was
say
John
that,
Stewart's play. We've seen better.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So a meteor shower occurs when dust or particles from asteroids or comets or something enter Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
A black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing can escape it.
Right.
Not even light.
Nope. That's why it's black.
A supernova is a powerful stellar explosion. It's a star going boom.
Yep.
And
so nothing about bringing the science.
But yeah, all of these would be kind of like ruin your day. But yeah, planetary invasion, apparently, of all of these, this was the simplest.
Especially because it's just an attempted planetary invasion. They don't really have the plan together. Yeah, they're just,
So these guys, they're attempting to invade Earth. And who isn't defending the Earth?
Amongst all the heroes?
Batman's doing something else. We'll talk to him in a minute. So is Wonder Woman. She's doing something else. She's busy.
Yep.
Yeah, Green Lantern, as Todd just mentioned, it's the John Stewart. Sentry, however, is not defending the Earth against the attempted alien invasion. Why isn't he?
Because Sentry is actually a analog character of essentially Superman from Marvel Comics that was created in the 1990s.
Apparently, this attempted alien invasion is such not a big deal, we didn't even have to do a crossover.
That's right.
There are like spaceships and stuff blowing up, and
Yeah.
And Superman is sitting there saying, "Don't you need me for this? Don't you need my help?" And
John and John are going, nah, we got it.
Really. So
you got more important things to do, Clark.
Yep.
Go.
You got. So, and it's true. Batman. Remember, I said Batman. He's not defending the Earth.
No.
Batman is standing guard.
Right.
Where is Batman standing guard? It's not in Florida.
It's not. That's Mickey Mouse's job. A bunch of characters.
So, Mount Justice was the headquarters of the Justice League, right?
Right. Way back in the day, they had a cave. They eventually moved out of it. Eventually, they gave it over to Young Justice.
Exactly.
It was a thing.
The Triskelion, it's an actual symbol. It's a Celtic symbol. It's those sort of swirlies that it's anyway. But that's also the fictional headquarters used by S.H.I.E.L.D.
Before they crash a bunch of helicarriers into it. Yeah.
And Watchtower would make sense-ish. Because Watchtower was
the Justice League satellite and current headquarters once they moved out of the cave. And
the Watchtower, it's on the moon, right?
Actually, it's floating just off the moon. Matter of fact, it's the one in synchronous orbit around the Earth at 22,000 miles above the Earth or something like that. It's one of those little weird factoids they always give or take.
Yeah, we don't have a ruler that long, so we can't really be sure. But yeah, that one would almost make sense, except no. Yep. Batman was hanging out in front of the Fortress of Solitude.
Yep, with his long johns on. Guess it's snowy.
It's snowy. Mm-hmm. What else is happening?
Oh, a little something.
Lois is giving birth. So right. Batman is hanging out outside the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And after he's given birth,
they decide.
Batman says that we're going to call him John, his mixed biology could have the potential of him being more powerful than his father.
Yes.
By the way, pro tip, don't let Batman babysit your kids because super creepy. He's just going to grab some DNA and do some tests on it. And nobody said that was okay.
Right. A little genetic testing on the side. Why not? It's a special gift.
Yeah, no. Just
I mean, Lex Luthor might have done the same thing, but
it's like, when you're a parent and you're giving your kid over to somebody else to watch them, it's usually like, can you have sugar or what are the allergies? Do you mind if I do some genetic testing? I mean,
Yeah.
Doesn't usually come up.
Right.
By the way, for an additional no points, one of our alternates was Emil Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. Who is a longtime scientist at Star Labs and showed up off and on over the years in various Superman stories and films.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes he's supporting the folks, and sometimes he's worried that the superheroes are too powerful.
Yes. Indeed.
Okay. Jonathan Kent's middle name is hint. It's not okay. This Jonathan Kent's middle name is Samuel, which is Lois Lane's father's name.
Right.
Okay.
General Samuel Lane.
Yes. Not to be confused with Jonathan Lane Kent,
right.
who exists in the alternate New 52 future.
Yeah.
So
remember all those retcons we mentioned?
Yeah. That son, the Kryptonian human physiology was unstable, and then sometime, yeah. Also, while we're on the subject, on the TV show, Jonathan Kent is one of twins, not in the comics.
Right.
Just the one.
He's an only child.
Yeah, but also additional children, and he's an only child, and there's no foster kids like Christopher Kent. Nope. Not in current continuity. There's no foster kids. There's no adopted children. It's just Jonathan Kent.
It's not a former Jonathan clone Samuel called Connor.
Yeah, it's those are all out there. Take them all from your minds, because in this book, it's just Jonathan Samuel Kent,
son of Clark and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like any cool kid,
he's got a best friend.
He does. And his best friend.
He first met his best friend in what was the name of the book?
The Super Sons.
Super Sons.
Yeah. which is
Yep.
a play off of a series that used to pop up in the Old World's Finest book back in the day.
Yep.
Back in the original Super Sons, it was Bruce Wayne Jr. and Clark Kent Jr., not to be confused at all with their fathers.
Yeah. These are not juniors.
Because those were imaginary stories. This is the real deal.
Todd.
Yeah.
These are imaginary stories too.
Well, yes, but those were like, hey, you think you know the regular continuity. These are fun, alternate, weird imaginary stories. I know,
So
they're
if
all
you-
fun and weird.
So Damian is Bruce Wayne's son. Damian Wayne is Bruce Wayne's son.
Yes.
There's a whole backstory about him.
Mm-hmm.
In a couple of weeks, we're probably going to do Little Gotham, so we'll go into that. But yes, he's real. He exists, and
he and
I
John,
believe currently he's a Robin variant.
yeah, he's basically the current Robin, because the original Robin, Dick Grayson, has grown up to become Nightwing, and the second Robin, who survived, Tim Drake, has taken on a different identity of Red Robin, and so the new current just Robin of Batman and Robin fame, sometimes in the Teen Titans, etc., is Damian.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also want to say, speaking of Tim Drake has been out of the closet and in the comics for I don't know how long.
Wow.
As well as the current Aqualad.
Yeah.
Which
right.
Also apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
DC has made a huge commitment to have a lot of diversity, especially, I can't get, they've had it, they mean it when they say they want diversity. And I like that. So John, he wants to talk to his friends. And where does he find his friend?
In the dark recesses of Gotham. Oh, no.
There's this whole bit of Damian's like, how did you find me? I'm secret. And John's like, I have super hearing. I have super sight. I have all this stuff. Hello.
Sounds like.
Yeah, and I also have an error that's not Themyscira, although how awesome would that be if the boys go hang out with all the Amazons? It's the Corto Maltese.
That's right.
Sorry. Typo in my...
Yes.
Tell us about the Corto Maltese.
Corto Maltese is basically the Iowa nation and shows up throughout the DC properties. It's basically Bad Guy Central. It's probably where they have all their offshore accounts, where they can go hang out and have a drink with their other bad guy buddies. Nobody cares. No extradition, so they can sneak away and not get pulled back.
Completely
it's also the name of an Italian comic, also called Corto Maltese, that features a maybe more honorable pirate sea captain character named Corto Maltese. But
yep.
That's
and while they're there, they beat up some ninjas. As you do in Corto Maltese.
Yes.
Now, Damian says to John, I can build you a what?
A gyrocopter, because they're cool.
It's not the Fortress of Solitude. Dad actually builds John. Yeah, one. His very own. And a gyrocopter is cool, and I want one.
Yeah. But that's the Shadows thing. Or maybe Howard Hughes' thing. When you're rescuing the Rocketeer. But Superman doesn't really need one of those.
Yeah, he also doesn't need the signal watch, although, again, that's cool. It's a secret identity. Because somehow in current continuity, John Kent has never had a secret identity. Not going to get into explaining why. You'd think Jonathan Kent would be the secret identity, but no, not really.
No, that's just who he is.
But Damon says, hey, Batman's my dad. I know Oracle.
Yeah,
I can build
we got connections.
I can build you a secret identity.
And get you the answers to the next week's quiz, too. But,
Hey! And the secret identity is
Fins I got.
Finn Connors.
Right.
Now, Finn Carter
Mhm.
is an actress
Yes.
best known for her role in
The 1990 fun sci-fi film Tremors, opposite Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon, with the big ugly slugworms.
Yep, and jumping on the rocks.
Yeah.
Finn Jones,
Was the
also
English
an actor. Yep.
Yes, who, for most people here in the comic world, people know him as the guy who played Iron Fist on the Netflix series for a couple of seasons, and
Yep.
the Defenders, etc. So on. Yeah.
And Film Wolfhard.
Also an actor.
Yeah.
He's a Canadian actor, primarily known for playing Mike Wheeler in Netflix series Stranger Things, which season 4 apparently just debuted. If you're into that sort of thing.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
Now, Damien recommends an underground stream to John. Now, underground stream, we're not talking about an aquifer. We're talking about a news stream.
Right. Out there in the World Wide Webs.
Mm-hmm.
The internet,
It's
as it were.
called The Truth.
Give us the one that's called Justice or the American Way.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, did you notice it's like this Superman, it's not truth, justice in the American way. This Superman, it's truth, justice, and a better world.
Yeah.
I like this Superman. I like where his head's at. I like the fact that he's struggling to not just take care of the problem, but he's looking at the root of the problem. That's part of why during this conversation with Damien's like, hey, check out this underground stream, not an aquifer, called The Truth.
Right.
It's got some really good reporting. They've got some really good insights.
Yeah.
By the way, for an additional no points, Tally Ho.
Tally Ho was a newspaper operated in the Village in the 1967-1968 series The Prisoner, about the British secret agent played by Patrick McGowan. At least we think he was British.
Yeah, The Prisoner, this psychedelic, surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about an agent for a government who decides to retire and they don't like it. So somebody kidnaps him and drops him in a village.
And then there's a newspaper called the Tally Ho.
Yes. It's also Mr. Toad's favorite catchphrase. Tally ho, you fellows.
There you go. Now, the lead reporter for The Truth is it's Jay Nakamura.
Yes.
Yes, by the way, yes. Superman falls in love with the intrepid reporter. History repeating itself. Yeah. So, Jay Nakamura is a refugee living in the United States.
Yes.
He's a journalist. He's an activist, and he runs the site, the stream, The Truth.
Right.
There's a lot of interesting things about Jay. He's got a couple little superpowers of his own. And yeah, read the book, find out.
Yeah.
Ethan Nakamura is a character from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. He is a Greek demigod. And
yeah,
he joined the Titan Army.
Right.
And Hiro Nakamura
is a fictional character from the NBC superhero drama called Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically enough, his name being Hero.
And Rio Nakamura is Rio Nakamura is an anime character.
Mm-hmm. From a fun little series called Assassination Classroom,
which is unfortunately named at this time. But yes.
Yes. About a bunch of kids.
But this is good book, good characters. I like it. I liked these characters. And if you haven't dug in, if you were a little scared, dig in.
Yeah. It's a good read. Some pretty art. It's cool characterizations.
And the collected book comes out tomorrow.
Yes. Available. Fine comic stores, bookstores, digital devices like Comixology.
Just in time for Pride Month. All right, so here's the official blurb, which, as you know, we like to do. It's a new Man of Steel for a new era. Jonathan Kent dons his father's cape as the 21st century Superman from the best-selling writer of Deceased and Injustice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, Jonathan Kent has experienced a lot in his young life. He's fought evil with Robin, traveled across galaxies, lived in the future.
With Legend of Superheroes. Yeah.
Exactly. It's time for the son to wear his father's cape and continue the never-ending battle as a symbol of hope for his home planet. Yes. But can John be Superman and still have a normal life? The son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane will learn the hard way as he heads to college and combats the danger of the modern world.
Yeah.
So, superstar writer Tom Taylor teams with visionary artist John Timms to tell the saga of the 21st century Superman.
Right. And Tom Taylor, as Ruth mentioned, is the writer on Deceased, Injustice, as well as Nightwing and X-Men Red, some Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man stories, all new Wolverine, and even some Star Wars books.
Yep, and John Timms is a Costa Rican animator and comic book artist, best known probably for his work on DC's Harley Quinn. So let's see. And he grew up loving comics, cartoons, animation, and a meeting with Peruvian animator Felix Nakamura. There you go, changed his career path. And, yeah. Thanks to him, we have a great book.
And this week's winner is...
Wayne!
Wayne! Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the nation.
Good job, Wayne.
I know. Again, it's a good book, and I like where he's going with this. All right. Next week, we are doing Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, yes.
So
Ms.
come on back.
Marvel.
Ms. Marvel. Not Captain Marvel.
Not Mary Marvel.
Not Mary Marvel. Not Shazam. Nope.
Not Miss Marvel, but Ms. Marvel.
Right before it starts, they start their show on Disney.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
so
as
Kamala
always,
Khan back next week.
Like, subscribe, etc., all that stuff, and everybody asks you to do that. Feel free to send us an email at d.com.nation@gmail.com. I'm slow to respond, but we do respond. Sign up for the mailing list, etc.
Tell us what you liked, what you're reading, what you think we should do.
Exactly.
Recommend some good books for us to check out. They might show up on a future episode.
There you go. And above all,
keep going with truth and justice and a better way.
Justice and a better world.
Yes.
All right. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Good night, folks.
Bye.